not going to take one day for you to become a successful engineer or whatever you want to be. It's going to take a long time to reach your career goal. You're going to have struggles along the way, and your pacing is going to be different from everyone else. So you shouldn't worry as long as you continue working hard. Everyone wants to own a house by the time they're in their mid-20s. But you're probably not going to own a home by that time, especially how homes cost these days. It's okay to live with your parents or be renting a really bad apartment. Plus, you don't really need a 3-bedroom with a huge backyard anyways. The adult world is scary, and that is true. But don't put yourself down just because you don't have all these ideal factors. Everyone has a different pace, and it's okay to slow down. The results from how hard you work and search will soon come. Take care of yourself, and don't compare your life to others who have already succeeded. Know your boundaries when it comes to working hard and working towards your goal. You're good enough. Thank you.
As an individual, it's your own responsibility to choose how to act in front of others. You may be the person who jokes around often and not take anything serious, or you may be the person who does all the tasks with heart. But if you want to be the person that everyone would admire and like, you have to influence and lead them. Being a leader is never easy. Some people might see and say that a leader's job is not hard. All they have to do is just manage. However, it's because they don't see the extra effort that the leader put in during its own time. A leader's job is not to solve a problem by its own, but to motivate and get the he or she to solve the problem. One good trait that a leader will have is respect. Respect is the basic of how to treat others. It's a way to show people that you see value in them. You want to treat others like how you want to be treated. When I say respect, it's not just having respect for others. I'm also talking about self-respect. By having self-respect, you can truly see what's inside of you and start loving yourself. Some people might say that the lower class should have more respect for the upper class. However, it's a complete misunderstanding. Everyone in this world have the same value, so everyone should be treated the same way. A better trait that a leader will have is honesty. Having honesty will give you a state of justice in your mind. If you're honest, you're able to gain others' trust. It's easy to create a good image in others' head that you're a real individual, and it can furthermore enhance the connection that you have around others. If you're not honest, other people will start to guess about you, which causes them to not to believe in you. That's why you must be honest. The best trait that a leader will have is confidence. Confidence can overcome fears in you, so it can stretch your limits and go beyond what's possible. When you're in front of a group of people, it's important to stand out and act as the real you. You need to show people that you're not shy. Instead, you're just being the real individual that you are. In this way, people will know and see that you have a clear mindset and will start to believe in you. Starting today, you need to get rid of all your bad habits, set your own goals, and treat others with heart. For your mistakes, you need to find them and fix them. A strong leader will always try to seek ways to improve in the best way possible. Finally, if you have made others think they could be as successful as you one day, then you have influenced them. Thank you.
Anthony, after Janelle. Maggie here? What?
What do you think of baking? You probably think it's just making a dessert and then eating it afterwards for yourself or maybe share with others. But baking is more than that. Baking has a variety of benefits. I'll be telling you the different ways of how baking will benefit you. To begin with, there are many ways to deal with stress, but have you ever considered baking as a way to relieve your stress? The slow process of measuring and stirring, waiting as it's in the oven, then taking the pan out and finding the batter transform into something that looks and smells delicious. You're so focused on what you're making that you tend to forget your problems that you may have for a while. It also improves your mentality. When I bake brownies or cupcakes and give them away to people, the response or reaction of how it tastes boosts my self-confidence and help ease negative thoughts I have on myself. Well, only if they like it. Furthermore, baking shows improvement in creativity. Baking lets you show off your creativity through how you decorate the dessert you made, since there's no right or wrong way on how to decorate. You can decorate it however you desire. And if you do mess up, you can just eat it. Additionally, you can experiment and combine certain ingredients together, such as s'mores and brownies. Since I like both brownies and s'mores, I decided to create something new using the two ingredients, using the two things I like, and ended up with something that I could enjoy all in one treat. In addition, baking is a way to express yourself. I personally have a difficult time expressing the way I feel to other people, so as a way to thank them or show appreciation, I can express that with my baked goods. You can also show how you feel towards someone by baking. For example, if you want to show how much you adore someone, you can bake them a dessert they'll like, and you can put all your effort and love into what you're baking and give it to them. If it doesn't turn out the way you want it to be, the other person will still admire the time and effort you spent to make them a dessert. And they'll know that you tried your best. However, it may cost you a lot of money from all the ingredients you'll need to use. Also, sometimes it may not go as planned, and something goes wrong. So you end up wasting the ingredients and wasting time. Instead of thinking of how much it will cost, think about how this will benefit you as a person. If things don't go accordingly, it's okay. Don't give up. You can keep trying until you master it. It will take time and practice, but after you finally get it down, you will have this type of feeling where it's like you've accomplished something and you'll be proud of yourself. Thank you.
Michael, after Anthony. Where's Michael? There he is. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. I should look up some jokes.
Hello? Okay. Okay, so imagine you're walking to your friend's house. It's like a normal walk, and you see a cat. And you don't really think much about it, like it's just a cat. But it hisses at you, and it's kind of aggressive. So you walk a little faster to get away. And then let's say another day, the same thing happens. Different cat, you don't think much of it, but it's also really aggressive and mean. So you start to think, okay, maybe cats are just really aggressive. and I should probably avoid them. And then so, but it makes sense, right? Because it happened twice with both of the cats that you saw, so you should just be safe about it, because the saying is better safe than sorry. And we also do it with other things, okay? Like, say, cars. If you buy one bad car from a brand, you tend to try to avoid that same maker of the car. But what if it's about other things, like, say, people, about like how they dress or what their hair looks like? Is it still a justified way to judge things? Or about, say, race or sexual orientation? Does it still make sense to do it? Because at that point, we don't really think so, because then we just call it stereotypes. So it's a natural thing, but the thing is we need to find a way to not do it. Like if you look back at the cat example, let's say your friend gets a cat, and so you hate cats, right? So you think when he gets it, like, this is what it's going to be like. So you go, and then it's actually not like that. It's really nice and cute. So you have to think maybe cats aren't all like that, but it's just some. Did it change? Yeah. So it works like that with most things. You just need to be proven wrong about it really just once or twice, and then you can get rid of that belief about it. Like, let's say most of us have had friends here. Like, for most of us, our friends we didn't automatically like. Like, maybe some that we chose, we're just like, oh, that person looks nice, I'm going to go be friends with them. But others, it might have been, oh, they look weird, or they just kind of seem wrong. But once you got to know them, you realize that they were still a good person, and that even though they like might have seemed off at first, it wasn't correct to just judge them based off of how they looked or like their race. But the hard thing about it though is trying to get that to happen for a community, like for a group of people, because it's not really realistic to just say, hey, go out and try to prove all of your stereotypical beliefs wrong. So there's a few things that you can do in a community. One is like to have workshops for it, where you try to, really the activity doesn't matter much, but as long as it's a group activity, like, and then you can have a diverse group of people, so you make sure you get some of everybody, so they can see, like, that everybody is just a normal person. Not really based on race or gender, but there really just aren't that many differences between us. Like one popular one that you can do is one with police. Like a lot of people have really negative views about the police, thinking like, oh, they're gonna assault people, and like, because some of them do, but not all of them are like that. So you can have police go into them, not in uniform, so then, because people will think like, oh, it's a police officer, let me be careful and all that stuff. But then you just do the things with them, and then you can see that they are just real people, like everybody else. And so the thing is, it's ultimately up to you as a person to be open to new ideas and how you view people. Because people are stuck in their ways a lot, and like we see that a lot in this country, that people just refuse to accept new ideas. But if you are open to it, you can see that most things like physical attributes of people aren't really a good way to judge people, because at the end of the day, we're all just humans, and yeah.
Thank you. Linda. And then Gerald.
Social norms are informal understandings that govern the members of society. Social norms could pressure people to act in a certain way, dress a certain way, or even talk a certain way. Social norms can lead to a generic theme that everybody follows and a lack of diversity. In essence, it prevents originality and it prevents one from having a genuine character. Some examples of social norms are style and fashion. One notorious brand that grew off of clout and popularity is Supreme. When you look at it, Supreme, there's nothing really special about it. It's just a red box logo, yet everybody raves about it. But due to high popularity, they are able to sell their products at ridiculously high prices for no apparent reason. Take this hoodie. It's a regular hoodie. You can find hoodies, blank hoodies like these for $20 to $25. Yet all of a sudden you slap a red logo, Supreme logo on it, and all of a sudden it costs $200. It makes no sense. Another example would be this Supreme brick. It's literally a brick with the logo Supreme on it. Yet people are selling it on eBay for almost $1,000. It's kind of illogical. There are so many better alternatives to social norm brands like Supreme if one sways away from social norms. Social norms distract people from the true potential and purpose of a product. Say there could be a mediocre product with being sold for ridiculously high prices because of popularity, but a better product that suits the purpose of the product better, that's not getting sold as much because it's not getting popularity. Social norms also consist of ways to act and talk. If everybody dresses the same, acts the same, and talks the same because it is cool, there will be no diversity. Who and what is to decide what is cool or not? An example would be this artist, Post Malone. In middle school and high school, he would come to school every day with a suit and tie because he thought that was cool and the style, even when other people bashed on him and said or attacked him for being different. He didn't care about what other people thought or how other people saw him. He just did what he wanted to do because that's what he believed was cool or what he wanted to do. Do what you like and dress how you want despite what everyone else may think. Learning to express yourself through every possible way, like clothing, hobbies, and activities, can help one find who they are even more. If you like something, then just do it. Social norms should be thrown out the window because it prevents one from being free to express themselves. You should dress how you like, act how you like, and talk how you like. Sway away from social norms and be unique. Thank you.
lost internet connection. Definitely not. Okay. There we go. Not to worry. Back. Alright. After Gerald is Fidel. You still here? You're after Gerald. Where do you want to start? Alright.
Teenagers spend a lot of money on food, from McDonald's to Popeyes to Burger King to KFC to In-N-Out to Subway to Wendy's, Jack in the Box, IHOP, Taco Bell. We spend a lot of money on food. We spend the most money on food than we spend on clothing and anything else. This chart is showing us how much we spend on food. And yeah, we spend a lot of money on food than we spend on anything else. Teenagers spend close to $5,000 a year on food. I put this picture upside down because they make us think that what we are eating is good because it has the burger, it has lettuce, it has tomatoes, but it's not healthy. They make us think it's healthy, but it's not. Americans aged 13 to 29, when they had a survey or whatever, they had a survey, they said they eat out at least once a week, and that's kind of bad. Fast food have too much of one mineral, which evaluates blood pressure. That causes high blood pressure, which can cause heart attacks, strokes, etc. In general, fast foods are bad for our health. always remember that when you eat fast food, there's a lot going on in your body, and there's a lot going on in your body, I can talk. Always remember there's a lot. So I'm going to show you guys this video.
What was your reaction to your friend Elton John storming?
Yeah, no, go back. No, it's not part of it. No, it wasn't part. It wasn't part of it. So yeah, like just a burger can cause you a lot of damage. So always remember that. Oh no. Teenagers can save money if they eat home cooked meals. In order to do this, we need to plan the meal ahead of time. To know what to cook and have a budget so we don't end up spending hella money or a lot of money. Oh my God. So we don't end up spending a lot of money, you know. We need to save up. You know, we're about to go to college. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when you have a budget and you save money, you know how much you want to spend on cooking. The home cooked meals, you know, it's cooked at home. It's cooked at home. And so when you have a lot of money, and so when you save money, it's actually good than going to Burger King, KFC, and all the other fast food place to get food. Always remember, whenever you spend money on fast food, that you are spending money, and that can be saved by eating home-cooked meals, and you are also endangering your health. Thank you.
Five more left. 5 more. What? Yeah. Of course.
There's no stand up there.
Huh?
Where's stand?
Oh, you want the stand?
Hello, my name is Gerald Nervous. Today I will discuss the importance of healthy eating. When you're a teenager, your body can handle all the bad habits you have, but they will catch up to you when you're older. Today I will give you the conditions that could take part in your body as you age while eating unhealthy. Benefits to eating healthy is a nice body. Whether you're a girl or a guy, a nice body always makes you feel well. Your body being healthy will make you feel less groggy. Healthy eating benefits your daily life because it allows you to have more energy. When you're working on a job site and you're fueled with the right stuff, then you'll be able to do your job more effectively. And in turn, that's you when you're not eating healthy foods. And then when you do, in turn you make more money. Healthy foods are essential to your overall health as you age. Healthy eating can save your heart from going bad and your blood pressure from rising too high. If you have a good diet, you might not have to work out as much to stay in great shape. Eating right enables you to get the body you want and deserve. Eating healthy foods can get rid of acne and make your skin glow. Eating healthy foods has turned my life around. Before I was eating healthy food, I was just an average athlete. Now I feel way more prepared going down the field. When I wasn't eating healthy, I was always groggy, had no energy, and I felt like I would always peak and then decline right after. Whether it's for energy purposes or to make your body look safer, healthy foods will all around make your life change. Right here is an old man. He looks pretty healthy, but he's been eating the wrong things, and his heart's bad. Obesity is something that's hereditary and can also come from eating the wrong things, and it's killing a lot of people. Here are some diseases that could come with not eating the right things and being obese. Pulmonary disease, idiopathic intracranial hypertension, a stroke, cataracts, and brain aneurysms. When you eat foods that are high sodium, it makes your blood pressure rise, and that could affect your body as a whole. This is what your face could look like if you ate healthy foods. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Ready, Mr. Corona? Where's she at? Where's she? Shout at Miss Sinnott wherever you are. Hope to see you soon. Maybe at graduation if you make it.
Okay, if you guys know me, you guys know that my favorite shoe is the Nike Cortez. The Nike Cortez was first introduced in the 1972 Summer Olympics in Germany. During this time, during its first release in 1970, the shoe made $800,000, whereas today that is worth roughly $5 million. Eventually, the shoe would be adopted by West Coast culture and specifically Southern California by gangs and car clubs. Last year, 2017, was the 45th anniversary of the Nike Cortez, and Nike released about 8 pairs that came in special boxes and had cards that said "Happy Birthday, Nike Cortez." During its release in 1972 of the Olympics, Bill Bowerman, the co-founder of Nike, was the creator of the shoe, and he created it for athletes that needed a durable and comfortable running shoe. Also during this time, it was released at its peak, which is why the sales were so high. Another reason that the Nike Cortez is a great shoe is because many shoe fanatics and hype people in Nike say the Nike Cortez was the start of the success for Nike. Also in 1972, the Nike Cortez and Oceanic Tiger was having a legal battle, and the Nike Cortez gained its name Cortez because Oceanic Tiger named their shoe the Aztec, which was identical to the Cortez, and Hernan Cortez from the Spaniards came to Mexico and defeated the Aztecs, which is why it gained the name Cortez, and why Nike named it the Cortez, because they defeated the Aztecs of Oceanic Tiger. The affiliations it has with Southern California is in car culture and gangs. The reason the gangs adopted the shoe is because the simplicity and the price point. And the reason car culture was able to adopt the shoe so easily is because people that were in gangs had nice classic cars that everybody wanted and admired, and both subcultures were primarily Latinos. The shoe continued to live on the East Coast, and did I say East Coast? Sorry. The shoe continued to live on the West Coast as the East Coast has their Air Force One and their Foamposites, where the West Coast has their Chuck Taylors, their Cortezes, and their Vans. The 45th anniversary, Nike did a huge campaign in 2017 of a celebration of the Nike Cortez. They had pop-ups with Nordstrom and a consignment shop in LA called Round 2. During this time, Nike let Mr. Cartoon, who had previously designed 2 pairs, but this 45th anniversary, they let him design 3 pairs of shoes. Also during this time, they had 2 Oregon State colorways, paying homage to Bill Bowerman's alma mater, and the Long Beach colorway for Southern California, because that's where it gained its popularity, which I'll be wearing for graduation. So you'll see me in my blue gown in these. Also during the 45th anniversary, Nike signed Kendrick Lamar from Reebok, and since then, Kendrick Lamar has already released 2 pairs of Nike Cortezes. If you haven't owned a pair of Nike Cortezes, why haven't you? Is it because of what people have said about the shoes and its affiliations? And if it's that reason, I understand, because my mom complained about me and tried to persuade me not to buy my first pair my freshman year, but I currently now own 10 pairs. But for my visuals, Long Beach, this is what the subcultures, as in gangs, would like to wear. They didn't like the all-leather shoes. They liked the nylon and suede. Nike also celebrated Dia de los Muertos with this shoe. They brought back this shoe last year from the early 2000s, and it's a jewel pair. And during its time in the early 2000s, this was a very rare pair of shoe to get. And during the 1972 Olympics, this was the first colorway that was released for the U.S. team. I'm done.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be talking about autodidactism or self-learning, which I believe everyone should have that skill. I think that autodidactism is necessary for life because it'll make you want to learn things that you want to learn and not what others are telling you to learn. For example, I thought that the German language was really interesting, so I took it upon myself to go ahead and start learning it. So I downloaded an app called Duolingo, and I feel like it's given me a really good introduction to the language, and I think that I've learned a lot from it. Another skill that I've taken upon myself to learn was to fix and service iPhones. So basically I took the tools that were available to me, such as YouTube and an old iPhone, and that's where it all got started. Some advantages of being an autodidact are that you get to learn what you want to learn. Nobody else has to tell you. You'll gain all these new skills that you can use for the future. Along with these skills, you'll be able to pass them on to others, and when other people need your help, they're going to look up to you and ask you how to do a certain thing. Along with that, you could also take these skills and get paid. You can possibly turn these new skills into a business, such as I did in repairing phones. I believe that along with that comes the trait of being a leader. I think that when you want to learn something, no one needs to tell you what to do. I think you can go ahead and take it into your own thought and pick, like, I want to do this, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it my way. Along with that, you're not going to be following anyone, so you're going to be your own boss, like, sole proprietorship. You're going to take decisions for yourself, and you will also take responsibility for those actions. Along with that, you're not going to commit the same errors that other people committed, because you're not going to be following their instructions on how to do something. So it's like a learning experience. It's a trial and error. So you're going to have to try something and then see what the outcome of that is. Along with that, you're gonna bring a lot of people that have common interests together, and they'll be able to really connect with you and what your ideas are, along with your traits, and be able to correspond on ideas. And then, like I said, you'll have self-reliance upon yourself, and you're not going to be following specific sets of instructions. You'll also get the experience of working alone, which for some of you can be good or not. But I tend to like to learn on my own and solve problems on my own. It's just something that I like to do. Your confidence will also go up because you'll know what you're talking about, and from your past experiences, you'll know if what you're saying is correct or not. You'll become a better decision maker because you'll learn from your mistakes, so you'll know whether to take that decision or not, and you'll know how much risk against no risk there are in those decisions that you take. You're going to stick to your own ideas. That comes into the confidence topic, and you'll learn. You'll get less of other people's problems if you deal on your own, kind of like being secluded a bit, basically. Like I said, you can turn your skills into a business and possibly take it into the larger scale once you go into college and take a class on business administration or something. In my case, back to the German language. Along with the app I've been very fortunate enough to have a friend that lives in Austria, which has also helped a lot. And I think that it's another thing of being confident in meeting other people, and you can benefit off of their mistakes and fortunes that would lead for you to have a better, I wouldn't say like a better future, but better confidence on what you're doing. In my case, speaking German, and on the iPhone side, that's something took it upon myself because I really like technology, and I'm hopefully going to take that skill into college to hopefully become a computer engineer. Therefore, in conclusion, being a leader, being responsible, not a autodidact, it all ties in to being, yourself. And I think everyone in here has the ability to do that. Everyone in this audience right now is unique, and I believe in all of you guys. Thank you.
Okay, so the computer died, so I guess I'm not using my slides. Is there a way to make this? What is self-love? Self-love is one's regard for one's own well-being and happiness, in which people shouldn't care on what society nor people think. People should have the right of doing what they want whenever they want, as long as oneself is happy. Self-love isn't just about getting a makeover, buying yourself new clothes, getting the finest end jewelry, etc. Although this may seem and feel good, it is not what self-love truly is. Self-love is being able to appreciate yourself, being able to appreciate your weaknesses as much as you do your strengths, being able to forgive yourself and your wrongdoings, and in general, being true to who you really are. For I myself had a point where I didn't even question if I loved myself or I didn't. And now I'm in that point in life where I don't care what people nor society says, for I love myself more than I could ever imagine. I had a period of time where I questioned if I even loved myself or I didn't. I was overweight and ugly. Well, at least that's what everyone told me, my doctors, my family, everybody told me. And then that's where my journey had started. I would go to these monthly appointments to the doctors, and they would tell me that I had to lose weight, that I was overweight, that I had to eat smaller portions. I had to go every month, and they had told me the same thing. You have to eat less. Throw junk food out of your mind, for that shouldn't even be an option for you. And so that's where it made me realize, for this one day, I was just chilling at my house on a Saturday. I still wasn't working, so I was just in my living room. And so I was like, why am I just sitting here when all these people are looking at me like this? Like, it made me feel horrible at myself because everybody would tell me these things. And so I told my parents, like, let's go to the gym. Like, why not? Let's go. And so they took me. And so that's where it all started. I pushed myself till I couldn't push myself anymore. I hated being fat. I hated having to crave chips so much. I hated having to be tired so fast. I hated society made me hate myself. And 6 months passed by so quick that when I first started, I was at exactly 185 pounds. But that by the time those 6 months had passed, I was at 125 pounds. And at that time, people were still telling me that I was still too skinny. And so that's when I started questioning it. Then what do you want? I mean, you guys thought I was too fat at first, and now you guys think I'm too skinny? For I remember exactly this one day, I was doing laundry with my grandma, and she was like, why did you lose all that weight? You look ugly now. I liked you better when you were fat. And then from that perspective on, it changed my view on everything. It made me realize that you have nobody to please but yourself. It opened up my eyes so much because society will never be satisfied. And then I'd like to thank my family, my doctors, and everybody for telling me the things that they did. Because of that, it made me love myself more. It made me love myself in general. And then it made me find my fulfillment in myself. I learned how to have more compassion toward myself. I learned and found my purpose. I love myself more than I could ever. And it's important to love yourself first, because you can't love others without loving yourself, because it all starts with you. For self-love grows from actions that come and support ourselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually. For self-love can be one of the most beautiful and important things that comes to life. People should stop caring what society thinks and should be free to do whatever you want whenever you want, as long as yourself is happy and satisfied. Nothing should be in the way of stopping you, because you know what? Fuck society. Be yourself. Have pride in yourself. Love yourself. Thank you.
Ready? All right. Hi, my name is Jose Luis, and today I'm going to be talking about gambling. You know, I first started in, it was just me and Zach in the back of the room. It's not legal, but, we got to make a little extra cash. So gambling is very addicting. You can play inside school and outside school. Outside school is more like cards, machines. But today we're going to talk about shooting dice. Shooting dice, it started off like people started doing it. And there was like not a lot of consequences, but now it started becoming a distraction inside of classes. So there had to be more consequences. But that didn't stop students from taking a risk and earning more cash. Instead, they just decided to go to bathrooms and play on the dirty floors to just earn little cash. I'm going to be talking about taking risk. Is you take a risk you put your money on the line, and then you take a risk on your money assets and getting addicted. So, shooting dice in our school made people. Oh, okay. So now let me tell you you shouldn't come in thinking when you first start. You shouldn't be thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna just take all his money." Because example, sorry, Zach. He came inside the room. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna win," but then when he started playing, he just started losing, and now some days he just goes home sad with his money empty, and that's all he. It's true. So there's no skill into shooting dice. You just really hope that you just hit a 7 or 11 and just win. Or now I'm going to talk about how easy if you win, it's just going to be easy money, because even though there's slim chances of being able to take the person's money away, you still get easy money, because that means you don't have to go work for an hour or go work wherever you work. You just take that guy's money and use it for whatever need that you need. And that's all I'm going to talk about. That's it. Thank you.